Hey everyone, I hope it's going well for you. Today I decided to do something that I've been putting off for a very, very long time, and that is go underneath my house. I was thinking about pulling up some floorboards and just going through that way. It would be much easier, I think, to just go under there that way instead of having to crawl underneath. But the issue is that guessing exactly where I need to go under, where the supports are, and having to clean out the room completely first in order to gain access to the floor. That's the trick. The reason I'm going under is because of this issue right here. For those of you who've been following the channel, you know that there is an ancient, maybe Edo period tunnel, stone tunnel, that runs under the house. And there is water. It's not this water here. This water here is just from my washing machine and just some images around the house. That's my delivery box. But I decided to go around the front of the house to go under to check out what's going on, because it was a deliberate stone tunnel built from the back to the front of the house. And after doing some research, I found out that most likely it predates the house. The house itself is around 200 years old, and you can see right here there's a big erosion problem going on with the soil underneath the house just going straight down. So I went to the bay window, this area here where the bamboo mud wall has collapsed. It collapsed a long time ago. So I just decided I'm going to clear out the junk in this area right here and just enter from this spot. It's to the left of the trench, and I discovered that the ground is pretty soft in some places, and I had to check it because I didn't want to fall through. There's some dirt in some places, and other places there's stone and then concrete. And if you hit the concrete or the dirt in different places, you'll notice different sounds. Sometimes it sounds a little hollow. Sometimes it's very soft. And you just have to be careful. I was as careful as could be. I came out just a little dirty. Didn't actually get hurt. From here on, I do a lot of talking, so here it sounds hollow underneath. I'll turn you over to myself. See you at the end of the video. That's the irori. That's the central column right over there. This concrete right here. Listen, you can hear it sounds hollow underneath. Okay, I'm just under the edge of the bay window in the house, and you can see right here. Here's the eroded hole that's gone down in the front. It is just on the front side of the central pillar. I don't know if you can see it. Let's try zooming in. But you can see that there's another one right behind it. So behind the central pillar and in front of the central pillar, there is a large amount of erosion where the dirt has gone down. And my goal today is to go under and assess the situation as best I can. And then from there, I can know what exactly I need to do. So I will do my best to try to come up with a plan to halt this damage. So let's go check it out. So we're up close to the irori, and going this way would be straight to the back of the house. The Genkan is right that way. And you can see there's a small dip right here. There's a large eroded hole over there behind the column. Here's the central column. And here's the large hole in the front. You can see it's right next to the central column, right there. And one guy came out and looked at this before. He actually got down in this hole and he looked under here and he said it's like a tunnel. It's like a tunnel that goes under the house. So I'm going to move over a little closer and take a look. All right. So there's the front of the house, and you can see just like he said, you can see where it's just like a tunnel going under there, and you can see where the stones that used to be the support, you see there's a stone perimeter that goes all the way around the house, and the wood is supposed to sit level all the way around. I can't remember what those stones are called, but they sit flat on the ground, and they're supposed to be solid. And then the wood sits on top of that, the beams, and then the columns sit on top of that, and it provides the support that's needed. But as you see right here, it's going across the span right here with no support. Just in this space, maybe about a meter, a little more than a meter and a half right here, there's no support. The stones have fallen down because this has just sunk into the ground. And yeah, so this is a big trench. I'm about to measure it right quick. I just measured it. From the widest spot, it's 160 centimeters wide. And from the edge here all the way down there is 300 centimeters long. You can see that the central pillar here, the erosion has gone all the way up to the edge, starting to get underneath. It's very bad. You can see some of the supports, you know, they just sit on these stones, and it's like a log, right, that holds up the beams. But there are some logs that have fallen. They've just fallen down, and some of the supports are a little more than sticks. Look at that. This one, how does that even hold it up, right? These are woefully inadequate, especially if there's an earthquake. But you can see right over here, there's an erosion going on, and there's massive problem over here behind the central column here. There's another column right there, right in the middle of the screen. It is crumbling apart. It has become completely unattached, and it is about to fall into the trench there that's getting bigger and bigger. It is really hot today. Thankfully, it's cooler under the house, but it's still really hot. I'm sweating, and this is difficult for me. And I don't necessarily feel very safe down here, but I guess it's just as safe down here as it is in the house right now. But I just have to be careful where I crawl, what I bump into. But I really want to get a better idea of everything that's going on under the house. And if I don't pull up the floorboards, this is really the only way I can do it. So I'm gonna take a look. It looks like some of the wood that was wedged together has kind of come apart a little bit. But like you can see right here, can you see that? Let me come over here. Maybe you can see better. Right there. There we go. It looks like that has come out a little bit. So that's worrisome. And it just makes me wonder how much I can do myself. If I'm at 100%, it's still very difficult for me to do much of anything. But I feel like if the water getting under the house can be stopped, at least I think maybe it can stop getting worse. And then from there it can be filled in until, you know, permanent repairs can be made. But the permanent repairs are going to cost a lot of money, I think. I'm not quite sure exactly what to do right now, but that's why I'm assessing it. Okay, now I am pretty close to, there's the Irori right over here. The kitchen is that way. The Genkan is that way. Most of the ground over here looks pretty good, except there are a few little holes in the ground here and there. But this hole didn't look very deep from the outside, but when I came over here close, look at that. And it's right next to another column here. You can see it's right next to it. Let me try to get a better angle. You see that? I don't really know what to say about this. It just I, I I don't know exactly what I'm looking at here. You know, is it just really soil that's it's collapsing straight down? Just how bad is it? Now I'm on the back side of the central pillar, right? And if you see right behind it, you have this massive sinkhole going on, right? And it goes all the way back to this back pillar and right up to the edge of that back pillar. And that back pillar has already largely collapsed. I think this was actually another kotatsu. If you look way over there, you'll see another stone column, and that's actually an old kotatsu. It hasn't completely collapsed, although the ground over there is pretty good. On that side of the house, from there all the way over, there are no sinkholes, and the ground is pretty good. However, that kotatsu back there has tilted over and crumbled a little bit, so it has come apart. And right here, it is practically fallen. I want to get a little closer if I can. I don't know how dangerous this will be. I mean, there's a hole right here. There's a freaking hole right here, and it's a hole on the other side. This is the only spot I can go by, and there's a crack. I don't know how safe it is right here. There's a column right here, but I don't know how much further I can go. It's dusty down here too, and musty. You can also hit the ground, and you can tell that it's not solid in certain places. But yeah, you can see right here. This is this is underneath the bedroom where I'm currently sleeping. Literally, you could say that right about right about where this hole is, right above, is where I'm sleeping. So, yeah. Luckily, all these columns are still standing, but this one right here, man, it is about to fall in the hole. Right? You see that? And there are a lot of stones here too. It makes me wonder if there was another stone column here. Was there another stone column right next to this one? It looks like there was. Yeah, it looks like there was a stone column here. Now, I will say this about this hole. It's not nearly as deep. You can see the bottom right there. It's only about a foot to a foot and a half right there deep on that side. And back here it looks deeper, but I'm not sure how much closer I can really get to try to get a visual. Man, that looks really deep, but I can't see it. Try to turn the camera over. Okay, I'm going to try to lean over here and see if I can catch a glimpse of how deep that is. Can we see the bottom? Can we actually see the bottom? Wow, look at that. Yeah, I think we can see it right there. That's absolutely nuts. Ah, the good thing is that on this back side of the central column, it hasn't gone down. It's still got a little room before, so it's holding up on this side. But on the other side, as you can see, it's really bad. But as you can tell by looking at it, the stones are starting to come apart on this one. Um, and probably won't be very long before it finds the same fate as this column right here. There used to be another column here that I didn't know about, but it definitely was sitting right here and has gone down. And this one has largely gone down. It's not providing any support anymore. And this column here with that post is about to go down. It's barely hanging on. You can see it right there in the center of the screen. I don't know how it's not going down yet. Man. And then there's this big old hole here. Absolutely nuts. I will say that I already knew that I was looking at a big challenge to do, at the very least, some necessary patchwork to keep the problems under the house from advancing. The main thing, of course, is getting the water stopped from going under the house. And there are two main reasons that was happening. One is because of the trench that was put there a long time ago. It was like a tunnel. It's literally a tunnel, a stone tunnel that's just channeling the water right through the middle of the house. And that is the main area where the soil has just gone down. One support column has already collapsed. Another one is halfway collapsed, but that one is more like a kotatsu and not a support column. Um, the second main column in the middle has not collapsed. It's still standing, but you can tell from the video that it's right next to collapsing on the front side, and on the back side it has maybe another foot to go. Luckily on the back side it doesn't appear too deep right by that central column, so maybe, just maybe, that middle area of the ground is much more solid, which is good. So maybe that area can be filled in and that column can be built back up. So I have a couple of thoughts about what to do, but I will say seeing some of those holes down there makes me feel kind of strange, because it's like, where's the dirt? Where has the dirt gone? How you, that third hole, the one hole on the left side, not too far from the Genkan, it's it's not as big, like size wise, like width and length, but it's just deep and dark, and it's like it's almost like the dirt has just gone down like a funnel. It's very strange, very strange. And some parts of the dirt, when you hit it with your hand, it sounds a little hollow, and it just makes me wonder what's going on under the house. I don't know what's going on under there, but I will say this. Of course, I have some practical ideas, some things to do to, number one, try to stop the water from getting under the house, because that stone tunnel is not the only way that the water is getting under there. This roof is huge. This house has a huge roof. And so when it rains or snows, a lot of that comes off the roof and right around the house, all the way around the house. There are no gutters on the house right now. So all of the water that comes off the roof of this house and off of the kura and off of the other kura, all of it's going right down into the ground, and no doubt that's soaking into the ground and going out of the house. And that's probably the biggest contributing factor, especially right now, because over here I've got the carp, not the carp. I'm thinking of the Hiroshima Carp baseball team. I've got the carp shirt on right now. Actually, see, it says carp. But this tarp I've got covering this this trench. I filled the trench in with stones, gravel, and then I capped it off with soil and put the tarp over it so that whenever there is some kind of rain, it keeps most of the water out. But of course, this is a temporary measure. The other thing is, I really need rain gutters. If I buy rain gutters, that just can't be done yet. It's a matter of finances. So, anybody wants to donate enough rain gutters to go around the house completely, feel free to let me know. I'd be more than happy to take you up on that. Because really, there are two main steps that need to be taken for the foundation. One of those is that the foundation itself needs some support added. And there are two things to do for that. One is fill in the holes. And I know that I need some big pieces of stone and concrete pieces, which I have plenty of. I have plenty of that. And the those big pieces go in the bottom and then kind of pack down and fit together really, really well. On top of that, I can do broken tiles, and I have plenty of those. Actually, if you turn right around, you look right over there. I've got the collapsed building. It's got tons of tiles. I've got more tiles in the Kura, and on the other side of the Kura, there are even more tiles stored. So I've got tiles out the wazoo. I don't need. I've got more than enough tiles to fill those holes, but I should only fill up the holes, maybe the second layer. Fill it up mostly to the top, so I can have concrete, big concrete pieces, broken up concrete pieces, stones that kind of lock together, and then the broken tile pieces on top of that, and then some gravel on top of that, and then at the very top layer, some kind of sand or soil, and kind of pack that a little bit, make it nice and tight, and then from there I can fortify some of the supports and the beams, and that will be one major thing that can be done. Fill in the holes properly, pack it down good, pack it down tight, add some supports. Um, I think I need to replace that column that collapsed and fell down. That needs to be done too. That's one thing. The other thing, like I said, is stopping the water from going in. So I believe that if those two things can be done, then yes, that the house can be kept from getting any worse. It can be saved from any type of future collapse. So even if there's an earthquake, it won't matter. It'll be okay because it won't shift anymore and it won't move anymore. But as it's standing right now, it's at real risk of collapse or partial collapse. Um, I'm a little worried. I'm more concerned. Let's say I won't use the word worried, but I'm more concerned about it now than I was before. And just going under the house like I did a few minutes ago, it really wore me out. I'm not made of energy right now, and I don't know when I will be made out of energy again. my my belief and my desire is to be better and to be able to do more things. But there are so many things in my life right now that I don't have answers to, and that's okay. A lot of people want to figure out how to do something or what to do next or how to get somewhere, how to do this, how to do that, as it relates to their health or finances or career or their house or renting a house, buying a house, doing renovations, whatever, it doesn't matter. Uh, Relationships, getting a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband or wife, you know, moving to another country, moving to another city, getting a car, it doesn't matter. There's so many different things to think about, and people spend a lot of time thinking about how can I do that and trying to figure out how to do it, and essentially trying too hard instead of going through the doors that are available to them, and recognizing first of all the doors that are available to them and going through those doors and allowing I guess you can say a higher power to kind of guide them, their inner voice, their intuition, or God, however you want to put it. It's fine. I'm speaking to everybody. To me, this is universal language. It doesn't matter if you're religious or not, or what religion you follow or anything. Regardless, I think everybody would agree. Even a non-religious person would say that they have intuition sometimes, and somebody who's very religious might would say that that's the voice of God or the Holy Spirit or something or whatever. It doesn't matter what your belief is. All of us still have this voice, this inner guidance that can reveal to us an option or a path or a door. And when we recognize that, we can take it. And the only thing that would really keep you from taking it would be your fear of not knowing what's behind the door. And so we often choose the path that we seem to know, even if it's not really the path that we want, or if it leads to a place that we don't really want. We will keep doing it because it's a known. It's not unknown. It's known. It's not comfortable, but it's understandable and it's familiar. So a lot of people will choose to remain in basically what is essentially slavery in order to maintain an environment that is familiar and known with with things that they know they already kind of have figured out how to handle. They don't bring satisfaction, but they've already had to deal with those things in the past. So, but in this situation here, I've got the health issue. I'm by myself here. I've got the financial issue, and I've always got the residency visa issues every year. You know, I don't have the luxury of just relying on a wife for my residency or anything like that, and I can't just go teach again to get a visa. And and even right now, the thought crosses my mind: should I even be here in this house? And if not in this house, where? Somewhere else in Japan? Not in Japan. These thoughts all cross my mind, but here's the thing. I've decided that I absolutely will not spend any time trying to figure out, quote, what to do. Figuring out what to do is trying too hard. So in this situation, what I wanted to do was get a clear understanding of what's going on with my house, much like the doctor, got a clear understanding of what's going on with me and my body and gave me a clear idea of what's going on. I wanted to have a clear idea of what's going on with the house. It's a little different because, with the house, the the ground is not going to fix itself. It's something that it needs my help with, it needs my assistance with, and I needed to see it clearly to understand what can I do or what cannot be done, and from there, wait for the right door, the right option to come along, and then I will recognize it. My desire is to recognize that option, that opportunity, and have the wisdom to take it. So have the sight to see it, and the wisdom to recognize it and take it, and the courage to take it, I guess you could say. So the ability to see it, the wisdom to recognize, or the sight to see it, and the wisdom to know it, the courage to take it, right? And then I'll go that direction. Whatever direction that leads me, don't know, but I'm open to it. Anyway, thank you for sticking around with me this whole time. I haven't made many videos for my channel. I have been doing a lot around here, mostly cleaning and cutting grass and things like that. Right now, it's not not looking amazing out here, but it's definitely looking a lot better than it was before. So I can sit out here and relax without seeing trash everywhere. And um, although there is a collapsed building right over there, and now my neighbor can see my backyard very easily, so I didn't want it to be too junky for too long. Anyway, so right now, the bottom line is at this very moment, at the moment of recording this video, I personally don't don't yet know where I'm supposed to be, where I'm gonna go, what I'm going to do, how I'm gonna do it. I don't have any of those answers. I really don't know. But I want you to know that that's okay because I don't need to know that. All I really do need to do, actually, all I really do need to do is think about where I want to be, what I want to be doing, how I want to feel, who I want to be with, and imagine that and believe that I have that. So basically, live in the end. So I'm going to focus on already having the things and the people and the environment that I want. I'm going to imagine the outcomes that I want, and that's it. The how to get there between A and Z is none of my business. So I'm just going to imagine that Z has already happened. I already have more than enough money to do everything that I desire to do in my heart, with the house, with my career, everything. I already have that money. I already have the healthy body. I already have the happy life. I'm surrounded by people who love me, people that I love, very close, good friends, um, a beautiful wife, and a second opportunity at a family. These are the things that I imagine I have. From here to there, it seems so far away. If most people think about it, they would say it seems so difficult, so impossible, improbable, or so far away. And I can understand that because it's an emotional thing. But like I said, it's not my business to try to figure out how to get from here to there. I'm not going to rack my brain. I'm not going to spend a single moment racking my brain trying to figure out how all of those things can or will come to pass. I have no idea. I really don't. So I'm just going to trust. I'm going to trust in myself, in my inner self, in my higher self. I'm going to trust in God if you want to say God, if you want to say the universe. I really do believe that the higher power that exists, I don't claim to understand it completely, but no matter what it is, has so much more wisdom and power than I do. That's a fact. And I believe that power loves me more than anything. And if that's true, and I believe it is, then all I have to do is say, you do this for me. Because you not only know what's best, you want what's best for me. And if I'm trying to figure it out and I'm trying to do it, I would just keep struggling. Like when my daughter was little and she had this bottle. This is my tea, the Earl Grey tea that I made. You can ignore the label. I just used the bottle. But I remember when my daughter was very little and she tried to open a bottle. It was a brand new bottle. She couldn't open the top of the bottle. And I immediately reached over to help her and she pulled it away. No! She got very angry. And I said, but I can open it for you. She said, no, I want to do it. She gave me a big attitude about it. And I just said, okay, fine, okay. And I just sat there and I continued to wait. How the TV was going and I was just relaxed. I was kind of watching her out of the corner of my eye, and I watched her struggle and struggle and struggle with it. And at one point, she got up and she walked out of the living room. And I thought maybe she was going to go find her mom and get her to open it, but she didn't. She actually went in her bedroom. I don't know what she was doing, but she was trying to find a way to open it without looking embarrassed in front of me. After a while, when she came back, she had her head down and she looked really, really dejected and she looked defeated. And she held the bottle up to me and she said something very low. And I said, what was that? I couldn't hear you. And she said, can you open it for me, please? And she wouldn't even look me in the eye. And I said, of course. Of course I'll open that for you. I would have opened it for you a long time ago. And I reached down and I grabbed it immediately. And I just opened it just enough, just a little, and then gave it to her so she could finish opening it. And she was happy about that. I think if I had opened it all the way and taken the top off, she wouldn't have liked that. So I just cracked it open just a little bit and then gave it to her. And she put a little muscle into it and she was able to open it. And I told her that's all you had to do. You could have done that a long time ago. and I would have been more than happy to help you. Actually, I tried. I tried to help her immediately. As soon as I saw that and I knew she couldn't do it. That's the thing. I knew that she was not going to be able to do it. So I immediately offered to help her, and she got upset and pulled away from me. So at that point, I just waited, and I let her come back to me. And I really believe that this is the way things work in life for us. So I'm at the point where all I want to do is sit next to, I guess you could say, my dad, my spiritual father, and just let him take care of everything. And all I have to do is relax. And if he says it's time to go, then we get up and go. And if he says, why don't you go over and get that? Then I'll go over and get that. Why don't you go through that door? Then I'll go through that door. Here's an opportunity for you. Then I will take that opportunity. When the time comes for me to do an action, I want it to be a guided action. When the time comes for me to go through a door, I want it to be the door that was prepared for me, not some door that I forced, or that I chopped down with an axe, or that I beat down with a hammer and tried to force it. Not interested in that. So that's where I'm at right now. And I do appreciate you all being here. I hope that something I've said has been useful for you. And since I haven't made a video in a while, I thought that I would share all of that. And seeing the serious issue under the house has me really looking deep within myself. So that's where we stand today. That's all for now. I love you guys and gals. And I guess I will see you next time. Until then, ciao ne. Bye bye.